When people ask my mantra, it goes back to Jimmy Buffett, because I've been a parrot head since I was a kid. One of his songs is breathe in, breathe out, move on. And whenever I get into a bind, I go back to that. Just breathe in, breathe out, move on. Just keep moving. I'm Scott Jordan, and I'm an ultra runner. I have been an ultra runner for decades. Actually, it started like 32 years ago. I think the process of becoming an ultra runner is essentially to learn not to quit. It's really about having a giant why and big, audacious, epic goals, followed by discipline and consistency, building good habits, and then building those habits into a giant base and some mental skills too, where you can put all that together and one step at a time cover massive distances like 100 miles, 200 miles, etc. I was running the Western States 100, which is the world championship and the grandfather of all 100-mile running races. And the founder of that race, Gordon Ainsley, he told me he would meet me again down at the Rucky Chucky River crossing. And I told him then that I had to go, that I was on the clock. And so he told me, he said, Scott, it is not about the time, it's the experience. Enjoy the experience. And I said, yeah, but this has a strict 30-hour cutoff and I've got to go. And when I saw them probably around 1 or 2 in the morning at this river crossing across the American River, high in the Sierra Nevada mountains, I again told Gordon, I gotta go. He said, Scott, it's not about the time. He says, finish up and enjoy. And I think that sums up ultra running. Running in itself, I think, is rather meaningless. It's really more about the relationships, the experiences. It's the people like those guys that you meet, and just epic journeys. And I think that's really what ultra running is at its core. In ultra running, we say 90% is in your mind, and the other 10% is in your head. So it's really all about how you think and your mindset. I think it was Lazarus Lake that said, if your legs are shot, your mind can get you to the finish line. But if your mind is shot, your legs aren't taking you anywhere. In ultra running, I think the races that I end up thinking about the most are the ones where I struggled the most, the hardest ones. One of those, although it's not an ultra marathon, was the Boston Marathon 2013. You know, that was the year of the bombing, and just a really tragic year, especially on Patriots Day. But for me personally, it was really traumatic because I had my wife and kids there with me. When the bombs exploded, we were right on the finish line, and it was scary. It was really traumatic. In the running world, though, I think I love the running community because most runners went to help other runners. They didn't just run away. Everyone went to help one another. And so that was a really traumatic day, but one that I look back on maybe the most. As an ultra runner, I think my favorite race is the Leadville 100 race series. I know it is. I love that race and that quirky little mountain town in Colorado because they foster this family. The founder of that race is a real live Wild West character named Ken Clover. Before the races, he always has everyone stand up and chant, I commit, I won't quit. And I love that. Even though only half the people ever finish that race, 100% stand up and chant that they won't quit. In running 100 miles, you never know what's going to happen. You really have to just take things as you get it. Finishing that race meant a lot to me. Every year, especially the first year, crossing the finish line and getting my buckle with with Ken Klober and Mare Lee meant really the world to me. You learn with time that you can always take like one more step. You can always take a step, and if you just keep moving, you'll eventually get to the finish line. If you want something bad enough, you can achieve it. You just have to be tenacious and relentless towards your pursuit of that finish line. Humans have an unimaginable potential, and so you can do so much more than you think. Even when you line up at the starting line of a 100-mile run, I never ever ever think about having to run 100 miles. I just think about how much fun I'll have that day, and if you just stay focused like that, then the finish line will show up in the distance and you'll make it. I think that you have to just enjoy the journey, whether we're talking about ultra running or life. It's a process and it's a journey, and you need to experience it with friends and people that you love and care for, and enjoy it and make the most of it. Good luck.